Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you guys how to make this beautiful overlap wrap top. And if you are new here for the very first time, please consider subscribing and hit on the notification bell to get notified once I upload a new video. Now, to make this dress, I'm making use of this beautiful Ankara print and it's 2 yards of fabric. Now, first of all, we are going to draft out the back block, and the back block we are not going to be attaching zipper because the front is probably going to be open. So what you want to do is mark out a shoulder line, which you can see on top my paper, and then go down vertically, mark out your bust points, your waistline, and then the length of the top. Now I'm making use of the full length of this paper, which is 19 inches for the length of my top. And once I was done, I went ahead to label all my lines. So I have the bust point, waistline, and then the length of my top. Now, next thing you're going to do is mark out your shoulder divided by 2 plus half an inch for shoulder stitching allowance. Go down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and then divide your bust circumference by 6 plus 1.5 for your chest line. Now go ahead and connect your shoulder slope into the chest line, which is probably going to be our armhole depth. All right. Now once you are done with that, ensure to label that as well. And then next step you're going to take is mark out your back neck width and the neck depth. So for mine, I made use of 3.5 inches by 2 inches for the depth. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my French curve to connect this. If you don't have a French curve, feel free to make use of your free hand and then connect your slope into the top of your neckline. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and divide the distance between my shoulder slope and the chest line into 2. Mark it out and then go over to the chest line. Divide your bust circumference by 4. Whatever you have, mark it out on the chest line and the bust point. So my round bust circumference is 40. Divide by 4, I have 10 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the waistline now. Divide my waist circumference by 4 and then mark it out as well. So my waist circumference is 39 inches. I'm going to divide it by 4 and I'll be having 9.75 inches. And what I have on the waist is what I'm going to take to the length as well. So I'll connect these points together. All right. Now, once you are done with that, go ahead and connect your armhole. And once you are done connecting your armhole, input your sewing allowance. So I'm going to be making use of 1.5 inches. Whatever it is that you want, it depends on your preference. Go ahead and make use of that. Equally connect the lines together and go over to the shoulder and input your shoulder stitching allowance. So here I'm making use of half an inch, and once I am done with that, I'll connect it using my straight ruler. Now that you are done with this, you're going to have to cut out your back block. All right. And once you are done cutting it out, you guys, we are going to have to go over to the front. So for the front, you can see I've brought in another pattern paper. Now to determine how overlapped you want your fronts, you're going to have to go in by 5 inches, 7, 8. It depends on how covered you want your front neck to be. Okay, so I went ahead from the folded part of my paper to go in by 8 inches, took it down to the waistline, and then connect it with my straight ruler. Now once you are done, go ahead and bring in the back block and then pin it down to hold it in place. You can see what I have right there. So from here, the next step is for me to determine how deep I want my neckline. So from the bust point, I went up by 2 inches. That means my neck depth for the front is 8 inches. This is how deep I want the front of my neckline to be. And I'll simply connect it to the width of my neckline and down to the hem of my front block. Now guys, if you are to attach a dam bodice to this wrap top, you're going to leave yours just like this. But now, because this is a wrap top, I'm going to add a belt around my waist. And then to do that, I'll be coming up from that hemline by 2 inches. All right, you can make use of 1 inch, 1.5 inches, depending on how wide you want your belt to look. So I'm making use of 2 inches, and once I am done, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Now I'm going to raise my back block, and then I'll be cutting this out on the front block. All right, now once I was done with this, I went ahead to remove my pins and then cut out the remaining part of my bodies. Okay, now what you're going to do next is remove the back block, and then you're going to concentrate on the front. Now I'm bringing another paper, and then you're going to have to cut together the belt into it. Okay, now if you don't want to cut it together, you can simply cut out a strap of fabric and then attach it when you are done sewing this. All right, now but for me, I went ahead to cut it together. So you can see this is our belt. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out on fabric. To cut out on fabric, place your front bodies into your fabric after you have folded your fabric into two, and then cut it out. And to the center front, you're going to have to input half an inch for turning allowance. Now after we're done, you can see we have two pieces for our front. Now for the back, we are going to go ahead and bring in another fabric. Place your fabric on folds and then cut out exactly what you have on the pattern. Now this back block is going to be just one piece. All right, so that means that the folded part is not going to be slashed. Now once we were done, this is what yours should look like. Now I'm going to place it for you to see how you are supposed to join this if you are not making use of a lining. All right, but before that, let's go ahead and cut out the sleeve. The sleeve is going to be a bishop sleeve. Now I've folded my fabric into 4 equal halves, and what you're going to do first is measure the length of your sleeve. So from the top of my fabric, I'm going to measure down to 21 inches. So my sleeve is going to be a 3/4 length. Now from there, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my sleeve armhole. Okay, I'm not going to go through the process of showing you in details how to cut out your basic sleeve because I have it already on the channel. Now to the down part, you're going to measure around your 3/4 sleeve. Okay, just after the elbow, measure what you have right there. For mine, I have it to be 10. You're going to have to divide it by 2 and then times it by 2.5 inches. That is for you to be able to gather your sleeve. Okay, now that I was done with cutting out my sleeve, Let me show you guys how you should join this in case you are not making use of a lining, but for me, I'm going to be making use of a lining. Okay, so what you want to do is place your front and back together, join the side seams, and equally join the shoulders, making sure that they are right side facing each other. All right, and once you are done, go ahead and fold the edges of your front and then cut facing for the back neckline. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out lining for these pieces, exactly what I have on the actual piece. I'm going to cut it out on the lining. So here is my lining, and you're going to have to go turn the neckline of your lining and then turn the side seams. Okay, now this is for the back. Going over to the front, this is what I have. So what you want to do first is turn the side seam, turn the neckline, okay, and don't forget to top stitch towards the lining part. And then you're also equally going to turn the hemline. Okay, so where you're going to turn this out from is just the armhole. All right, now once I was done with this is what I have. You can see how neatly finished this is looking. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring the back piece for us to join the sides together. Okay, now because I already know what I marked out for the sewing allowance, I'm just going to go ahead and place them right side facing each other, and I will go over to my sewing machine and stitch the side seams using about 1.25 inches because I turned the lining with quarter of an inch. I hope you guys understand. Now once you are done joining the side seams, go ahead and join your shoulders, making sure that the lining piece are aligning with each other and the actual fabric aligns with each other. Now once I am done with this is what you should have. Can you guys see? This is so beautiful. And you guys, what is left of us now is to join the sleeve. Okay, so this is what the actual bodice looks like. Now I'm going to bring in the sleeve. I've actually gone ahead to hem the down part using 1/2 inch, and I'm going to go insert elastic into it. Okay, and then go ahead and gather up the armhole and join into my sleeve. So guys, this is our wrap top. Normally wrap top doesn't really look good on the table, okay, until you wear it on your body. All right, go ahead and wrap it up around your waist, and you guys, finally this is the finished look of our top. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will see you guys in my next one.